Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. This is another one of my dyslexia videos, of course, for Dyslexia Awareness Month. Hope everyone's well wherever you are. I thought I'd make a video like this for each, or videos like this for each dyslexic organization that I can think of or can find or that I know of. I'll try and cover different topics or points if I can each in my lists videos, and then do some in non-list form. But really, obviously, anyone is welcome to watch the video, of course, but I think it's mainly for people with dyslexia or an interest in dyslexia, as I mentioned in my previous videos. But of course, the more people who watch it, the better, and it would be always appreciated to get as many views as possible, and like the video and share the video, and people liking and sharing the video, because obviously that would help me to help myself and others, and it would help to raise awareness of dyslexia. And if I ever monetize these videos, if I ever get enough views to monetize the videos, or get enough, or even get sponsors or support for the videos, then I can use that to donate to people with dyslexia to set up their own businesses and projects, generally, especially ones in developing countries. So with that being said, yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and especially people with dyslexia and their families, but again, even non-dyslexics, hopefully, or people who want to find out about dyslexia. Obviously, it'd be more of an interest for people with dyslexia, or who are interested in dyslexia, or learning more about dyslexia, or who are interested in supporting dyslexics, like parents, teachers, parents of dyslexics, teachers, families generally, or people who are interested in learning new things, or dyslexics themselves, or people with neurodiversity themselves, or related conditions. Of course, it's going to be of more interest to those groups. But yeah, so here goes. Here's some of my ideas. I'm going to try and keep it different to the one Festival of Dyslexic Culture if I can. I can't quite remember exactly what I included involved in those videos, but I hope it will be at least a little bit different to that one. But yeah, so I'll try and think of different ideas or points of view that I can cover. And a lot of times on different days, I think of different ideas. But because of my patterns and alliteration, I thought I'd do the Made by Dyslexia ones on Mondays, and the Festival of Dyslexic Culture on Fridays. The Yale Center for Dyslexia and Creativity on any possible day that I can cover those videos. And Understood and other groups like that on different days as well. Anyway, sorry if I'm waffling. And here goes. So number one, I would love to, on the subject of all those different dyslexia groups, I would love to somehow have, like, I made a Facebook group called the One Stop Place for all things dyslexia or something like that. And I would love to have, like, all those different dyslexia groups, as well as parents, families, teachers, and whoever is interested in dyslexia. I would love for all of those to come together and, like, share ideas and network, and like I say, a one-stop place, so that we can all dyslexic people, or possible, and again, parents, teachers, families, and so on, can come together, network, and share ideas and resources and things like that with each other, so we can help each other to be empowered as much as possible. So again, I'd love for Made by Dyslexia, the Festival of Dyslexic Culture, the Yale Center for Dyslexia and Creativity, Understood, and Dyslexia Advantage, and any others to network together as much as possible. Again, share ideas and information they have with each other, and see what similarities and differences each organization has, or what they can learn from each other that they might not have known before, perhaps, if there are other things, or even just connect and have resources, and maybe, like, dyslexic people can run businesses or invest and that sort of thing together, and, like, be a networking thing, so they can be a shoulder to cry on for each other, but also just generally encourage and uplift each other, and even when times are good, to ensure that they stay good. And I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so to come together as one. Number two, I think it'd be great to again, learn from each other and see what people can learn about Made by Dyslexia, and the work it does, and also dyslexia generally, and also share each other's resources, so more people who might not have heard of Made by Dyslexia, but have heard of other dyslexic organizations, might be able to find out about each other and share each other's information. So we share the same goal of supporting dyslexic people. Yeah, so different dyslexic organizations and schools, and dyslexia-friendly schools, again, especially in developing countries across Africa, Ireland, and Asia, which I talked about before, coming together and, like, supporting each other, and hopefully we can help people from the West who have more money, funds, money, resources, funds, and things like that, and awareness and things like that can also help and spread awareness and knowledge, and maybe fundraise again for dyslexic people in Africa and places like that, and Asia and places like that, to set up their own businesses and projects and even network with them and that sort of thing, and encourage them. Number three, I think it would be great if people found out about famous dyslexics like Richard Branson, Keira Knightley, Orlando Bloom, Jamie Oliver, and people like that who are part of Made by Dyslexia. And yeah, if more people found out about them, even non-dyslexic people finding out about such people would hopefully help them to see that we don't always have just weaknesses. We also have a lot of strengths, and there are many famous and successful people with dyslexia. And some people say it's not even in spite of the fact they're dyslexic, it's even because they're dyslexic that they have high levels of creativity, energy, drive, a desire to prove people wrong, a strong work ethic in some cases, not in mine, but in many other people's cases, and things like that. So I think it would be great, again, for people to find out about famous dyslexics. Number four, hopefully, yeah, maybe this video can inspire and encourage more people with dyslexia or who are interested in dyslexia to make videos like this. And again, if they monetize them, they could donate a certain amount of that profit to, or the money they make to, again, develop people in places like Kenya and India and all over Asia and Africa, and even Ireland, as it was colonized, or poorer areas just generally as well. And yeah, connect together and fundraise, and like people could perhaps donate in the future through Patreons or share links, like my friend's school, Rare Gem in Kenya, and Dyslexia Organisation Kenya generally. So I think it'd be great if people fundraise for those sorts of groups, which I hope to talk about in this month. All being well, I plan to talk about Rare Gem and Dyslexia Organisation Kenya and things like that. Excuse me. Number five, I think it'd be great to hear from dyslexic people about their goals and aspirations, and how other dyslexic people could teach them how to set goals, and what they can learn from other dyslexic people and dyslexia channels about how dyslexic people can learn to set goals, do time management, or learn to better manage their time and things like that. Number six, I think that it's interesting to hear about the work ethic of many dyslexic people and how they push themselves to work hard, and again, what they've done to overcome their obstacles and achieve success. So I think if more people with dyslexia find out about that, it can help a lot of dyslexic people who suffer from depression, or even in some cases suicide and things like that. So if they find out that there's people who are successful and they still have strengths, and there's a lot of hope, hopefully that will help a lot of young dyslexic people to have a lot of confidence. Like I wish when I was growing up I would have found out about famous dyslexics or people with dyslexia who have done well financially or in other areas of their life, because then excuse me, I may have had more confidence as well growing up. And again, maybe even non-dyslexic people hearing those stories will see their dyslexic peers, and think that they do have potential, rather than seeing them only as having weaknesses. Although we do have some areas where we do struggle with, and I think it'd be interesting for people to learn both, so they know dyslexic people are not being lazy if we struggle with these certain areas, but there are areas where we're weaker at. And sometimes you have overlapping conditions. For instance, I have dyspraxia as well, so I struggle with the more physical things, or things like coordination, so things like driving or sports, or things that other people find easy, I struggle with. So sometimes dyslexia will affect individuals differently, partly because of overlapping conditions, or just generally as individuals. Obviously each individual, whether dyslexic or not, is probably going to be at least a little bit different to the next. So whilst we have similarities like creativity and strengths, we don't always share those same similarities, but although many of us do. I've heard of dyslexics who say they're not very creative, but generally speaking, I think on average we are more creative and imaginative and things like that. We have strong imagination. Many people do say that sort of thing. Number eight, again, on that note, I think sometimes there's a time to listen to or hear about some of the negatives that we face. But I think also hearing about some of the positives would be really helpful as well. Yeah, hopefully by connecting together, we will raise so much awareness around the world. And each week I hope to come up with different ideas and talk about different topics and different sort of things, like dyslexics in business, dyslexics in movies, and in different areas as well. I think I missed out on part 7, so that's another dyslexia weakness, like struggling to focus and things like that. Number 9, I think it's quite ironic to hear about dyslexic writers, and many people with dyslexia might think they can't become writers because their teachers told them they can't, or because they have dyslexia. But with things like ghostwriters and editors, I think it'd be great for more dyslexic people to find out that they can still become writers and things like that. And certainly many dyslexics are good at things like art, illustration, and things like that. So hopefully they'll find their strengths, as Richard Branson says, who's one of a prominent dyslexic. As he said, it's important to find your strengths and weaknesses. And I think even if you're not dyslexic, it is important to find your weaknesses and strengths, saving the best to last. But I think if you're dyslexic especially, it's good to find those things to give you confidence and know how to counterbalance your weaknesses. For instance, working with people who can help you with your reading and writing, and learning how to trust people, or learning who you can trust and who you can't, like learning that intuition, which I think many dyslexic people are also good at. And number 10, I would love to support young dyslexic people to start their own businesses and take risks, and maybe like fund some of those businesses so they can afford to like try something like create their own website, and encourage governments like in Kenya and places like that to like my friend's school, Rare Gem, or school has port I should say, Rare Gem in Kenya. Like if the Kenyan government and politicians generally help them to or encourage them and help them to set up their own little like lemonade stores, or their little shops where they can sell things like water or things that people, anything they can sort of buy and sell and learn how to handle money, it will help them in the future, and they'll learn from their mistakes. And maybe like with teachers' help or other people's help, and even local businesses can help them. So in the future, they'll be able to give back and benefit the Kenyan economy. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to have some feedback, especially from Made by Dyslexia or its members. And I am out. Peace and love.